After last week's loss to Upson-Lee, what were some of the positives that you gleaned from the game?
Well, anytime you have your first game, and that's why you hope that you can get a scrimmage so you can kind of tinker with things that aren't going so well. Just it happened that Saturday was our first home game, and it was the first game of the season. Saw a lot of good things, even though the score doesn't reflect that. A lot of people don't see the things that we see as coaches. Our offensive line did some good things. It may not appear that way to the common fan, but we did some really good things up front. We had some kids. We found out, some kids that are tougher than we thought they were going to be, and it was a good evaluation period.
Always edit stuff. During the game, the team seemed to have a lot of injuries during the game. Can you give kind of a quick status on where we're at going into this week?
We are hurting. We have a lot of kids that are out. Hezekiah Rose is starting defensive ends in a cast right now. And Rodarius McQueen, he had surgery on Monday. And we got some kids that are really banged up. Our training room hadn't been that busy in a long time. So, yeah, we're kind of bruised up. We're kind of banged up. But like I said, that's where you find out who's tough and who can fight through those bumps and bruises.
Okay. There are some plays that were made on special teams that made a huge impact on the game, and that wound up being in Upson-Lee's favor. The examples were like the field goal and the extra point, and then also the second half touchdown that was returned all the way, on that kickoff. What are some of the plans you have to correct some of those special teams mistakes?
Well, that's the one thing that you can't simulate in practice so much, is because you can't go live as much on special teams. And I thought our special teams was going to be one of our strengths going into the game, and it did. It turned out to be a nemesis. And we went back and evaluated some personnel, so we made some personnel changes. And Upson-Lee was really good on their PAT block team and their field goal block team. They had a good plan, and they executed it to perfection. But hopefully this week, with some of the changes that we made and some of the kids feeling the live action on the special teams, we'll fare a little bit better this week.
Okay. And in regards to that, are there any position changes of the players going to be made this week?
Well, the biggest change is going to be at the quarterback position. Elijah and me got hurt, and honestly, we played 5 different kids took snaps at the quarterback position Saturday, and if you told somebody you're playing 5 quarterbacks, you're probably not going to win. Andrew Lacey has taken over at the quarterback position. Elijah has been moved out to one of the receivers and going to play limitedly, but that's probably the biggest change, is Andrew going to quarterback.
Okay. After you've had a chance to scout Kendrick, what kind of things can we plan to see from them, both offensively and defensively?
Well, I think offensively is where everybody's going to be looking the most, because they got a really big running back, and he's hard to bring down. He runs really hard. And then special teams is another thing that people are going to notice, because they got 2 kids that can really run the football, number 1 and number 7. And those guys, they're track stars. And so we got to be careful kicking the ball to them, and we got to make sure that we cover them in their pass routes. If not, they're going to expose us, and they're going to get theirs. They're going to get some success because of the speed that they have.
Then, just kind of last question here on a light note. The team's going to start having some stars put on their helmets. Can you explain a little bit about this new reward system you've presented to the players?
Yeah, they get the awards not only for what they do on the field, but they also get them for what they do off the field. If a teacher emails me and tells me that they were a good citizen in class, or they saw them doing a good service to our school, then they can get a star that way. They can also get stars for passing tests, and then also for things that they do in the game, turnovers, if they force a turnover, recover a turnover, big hits, things like that. We give the awards out, and we give them out every week. We give the blocking award, gets the pancake syrup bottle with their name and number on it, and then the big hit award, they get a crunch chocolate bar, and the kids really seem to like that along with the stars. But on the flip side of that, if they fail a test or I get a report that they're in school suspension or detention or something like that, I take the stars back. So it's I give you and I can take it away.
So, well, that's all for this week, and we'll come back and do it again all over next week.
Look forward to it.
So.